of matter in a Let's See What Comes Up video, because one of the things I like to do is to just turn the mic on, look at the chart, and talk. Me and my Aries Mercury love to do that. So this is a Mars day, and Mars is 16 degrees Taurus, leaving my sun. I had a lot of action for Mars on my sun. My kittens began to climb up the windows, so I had to close the windows for the porch. My parent got mad. I said, if you want to watch them, go ahead. I'm not going to be a babysitter, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to do anything but to watch them. But it's also sparked the idea that I want them to go outside, and then I have to be more active, okay? It's not just passive. We usually have Sun in Taurus. It's very calm. And that Mars sparked some action. So that was very interesting. And then this is right now moon hour with the moon Uranus. Okay, let's see. Are we doing a talisman together? Let's see, because this is Mars day. But it's the 9th house. I think algol is on minima. So let's check if algol is on minima, then I can't do it. But if algol is not yet on minima, we might be doing a talisman together. So let's see. Initial local times. Yes, 10:49. She's about to go. PM. Not on minima. Come on, let's go. Algol is not on the minima. And let's really see what have I got here. So you're gonna be here with me. And this is a Uranus algol. I have no idea. And as with Uranus, okay, I just climbed the Uranus algol. This is a moon hour. It's a Mars day. We don't have anything that sparks Venus up. And algol is on her shielding phase, okay, for where will be becoming dim. I have a page, and I made some tea for algol. Gonna put in some incense. And algol is about speech and speaking your truth. And Uranus is that eureka, that spark. So I'm gonna call on algol, beta per se, Medusa gorgone, and I'm gonna call on Uranus. I think I can't play music right now. Maybe I can. I don't think I'm allowed to broadcast this, because that would be copyright rights. So I'm gonna call on Planet George. And I'm gonna because the algol is on dim phase and the moon is decreasing, I'm gonna dedicate this talisman to abolishing slavery. So let's light up some incense. And abolishing slavery, abolishing the praxis of electrocution, for where they use it in torture or in rape, so to abolish these things. And I have already taken some action of what I knew, but also to get eurekas of what the steps to abolish these things. And I'm going to just do it with a note, because this is what I have right now, this note. I might have more, let's see. Okay. So yeah, I have some wormwood, very small amount of wormwood, and lighting some incense, just sandal incense, what I got. And I'm going to paint on the Uranus for the eurekas, for the sudden moves, for every step to invite a set intention. Intention is so strong with Uranus. A set intention, okay, to abolish what slavery of electrocution, okay, of all these uses in technology, not good for people, but also for animals, for cows, and so on. Let me get the algol symbol. Oh, I have it. Oh, where's the algol symbol? I know I have it. You know where I have it? I have it in my wallet. I put it on my credit card. So we're gonna go like this. And you see, this is not the usual way people do ritual. But this is what I love. Because, did I find my bag? I will find my bag. Just don't want to make a mistake on the algol symbol. And yeah, I don't find my bag. Which I'm not worried about at all. It's somewhere here. I just want, okay, I will do it, yes, by heart. Yes, I know, because I do know the algol symbol. And yes, 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is a better per se for shielding, okay, abolishing war crime. This is a good thing because algol is intergenerational. So I can set intention to abolishing what to do, rape for war crime, but also expandable children for the electrocution, the programming, and abolishing the shadow bans on the voices that speak the truth, and protecting these voices, whether it's my voice, for survivors of all walks of life, that set the true intention to abolish these practices and abolish of what constraints our wealth, our well-being, our fertility, our joyous in our sensuality, and everything that algol represents as well. With this, just a tiny note. And I do want, let's see if I have, I have here, I really wanted a moldavite, but I didn't get to buy a moldavite because I wanted to buy 1,000 other things too. And I did. So I can't complain. What I have here is I have here basically a cone of a pine. And I'm going to dedicate this. Let's see if I can write on this. So I'm going to paint the Uranus. And this is for technology. I'm going to ask to transform and abolish the technologies that are blocking of wave frequencies of a nervous system. And I would very likely be not surprised to find out that these are the same technologies that interfere with, the voices of the true survivors. I do honestly believe that technology can be together with sharing our truths and connecting people. And so this is for the pineal gland and for the protection of the pine cone that I just have with me. And I'm going to put it next to algol, and I have my freedom of speech. And of course, we cannot forget it's the moon hour, and the moon is in 5th lunar dimension. I'm going to add Kabil al-Hakim. And this is a beautiful symbol. It's basically a symbol of the person with the hat, and they're smiling. And I think some paint, yes, and it is al-Hakim. And this is 5th lunar dimension. And why not moon in Taurus, where it gives us the nourishment. So I'm going to call on Kabil, which is the angel of the 5th lunar dimension, and I'm adding it to the same note. Okay, this is Uranus playing here, okay? To the same note, for we're gonna get with Al-Hakim, we get the mind solutions, the eurekas, and this together with Uranus for the 5th lunar dimension, and of course the energies of the moon in Taurus, okay? It is no longer in good relation, in harmonious relation with Venus, only by sign, and Venus is on 18 degrees, so I'm not going to call on her, but definitely moon in Taurus, for us to be nourished. And the role of nourishment, the nourishment to our nervous system. I'm going to bring in the pine here as well. And the role of nourishment for our nervous system is so important of when we recover. You know, and this is, I'm going to tell this story in reverence to this talisman. I'm going to do a little bit of a symbol of Al-Hakim as well. Fifth dimension, Kabil. And wow, Kabil is so good. The minute I drew it on the pine, I felt it's so good. Something happened. Really. I love it. Something happened when I drew it on the pine. And now, of course, I'm going to bring what I don't have. What I don't have is pine essential oil. What I do have, and I felt that this was going to happen. Going to set in the cornerstone. So this is cypress and rosewood. Of course, before Palo Santo. Yes, what is this? What I want, the blue lotus. What's the blue lotus? Oh, I want a blue lotus here. I'm calling on my blue. Oh, there it is, with Venus. Oh, yes. So, got a couple of oils and I want to preserve them, but I still didn't get to buy for the bottle. What I'm going to do is to have the cornerstone for a very huge cream. It's wrapped up in blue. Yeah, I still got time for it. I mean, yes, until Saturn hour I have time, you know. And so, as I am speaking to you, I want to touch on the oils. I ordered Blue Lotus. It's very nice oil. I still did. I used it yesterday. Got it yesterday. I still didn't get to know it very deeply because I ordered it with a lot of with some other oils. One is Blue Cypress, which is so very tender, and I'm going to create an oil, body oil. So let's do a little bit. And this is going to be an algol body oil. So let's bring in the thing. And when I was cleaning my kitchen today of the mess that my puppies made, haven't even finished cleaning, I found this tape for where you just, if I write something, then I can put it on a tape. So I'm going to have another symbol. I'm going to consecrate this little box that I have here. Glass box. I forgot my English. If you think, does it happen to you with your mother tongue? Absolutely. So let's do the algol one. And algol Uranus. Our Eureka oil, protective, shielding, but also decultifying. Decultifying our bodies, our sexuality, our for the joy of living, okay? And Kabil is so great. Fifth lunar mansion, I have to tell you, I love it so much. It is coming from the mind, okay? And this is exactly the phase, and you know what I'm going to call on third phase of Taurus. This is very experimental, and this is with inspiration of Austin Kopok. Not that he ever did that, he doesn't vouch for that, so don't take it that way. It's just, this is the phase of in spirit and in matter. I'm going to say it in spirit and in matter. And again, a moon Taurus, all of them together. And this is a lot of energy, but this energy is shielding and is balancing spirit and the matter, and removing for the obstacles, okay? And you think about unionizing yoga. of when is union, but supportive of its individual members. You think about the moon in Taurus, one of the charts of Finland have moon in Taurus is indeed the country where, for people who went through, God forbid, the horror of things, okay, for even maybe expandable children, they use not drugs and stuff like that, so they give them housing first, and they believe them when they speak about all these things that they see and they hear, and indeed the environment becomes supportive. And what happens when the environment becomes supportive? Yes, is basically to add this third phase of Taurus. What happens is basically that they begin to recover, and if they hear voices or feel sensations, these are supportive voices and sensations. And I would add a travel to it. The moon is a traveling sign, it's a traveling planet. It's traveling all across, and in magic we use it for the uses of magic. Yes, this is also because the moon is very important for magic, because we buy the location of the moon. And look, right now it's in the 9th house. So travel is initiation, but also the traveling that is nourishing for us. And I'm going to manifest a little bit of that for the remove the blockages from travel that is nourishing for us, and put it in my persili. Yes, and I see there's enough water for persili plant that I have here. And wrap it up. It's going to be a body oil. And you know, with the co-presence of Mars in Taurus, it's good that I make oil. I know I wanted to make butter, but I also want to eat this month. And so for also to remove blockages from creating wealth that is ethically based, from great ideas, for both for the people that are within the cult and want to get out, or the people that didn't know that want to get out, and they do. So this is the lotus, the blue lotus. Let's drop some, and let's just let it drop. Let's just let it go in there. Leave a couple of bottles for when I would like to make later parfum. I woke up like this. And there's just so much joy, and the energy is light. That's what I like. That's what I feel right now. Is the energy is light. There's conjoining of energies that are blending together well. And I'm going to manifest for that, for the conjoining of energies and blending together well, even if they're like psychedelic experiences of what I said, whether I call it as supportive and healing. Meanwhile, I'll tell you a story. I acted a little bit for trying to find business people, politicians, that are also were expandable children, which means they were both victims and perpetrators. Yes, all the horrible things. And as adults, they are public figures. It was very easy to find them by the testimonial of the victims. And I said, I'm making a step, gave for the resources that help to combat psychic attacks of targeted individuals, and ideas for housing for targeted individuals. It just happened, okay? So I just didn't expect to meet these people where I did online, and it just happened. And then, what I told you the story about my credit card, maybe there was a problem with the bank, but I said if they make problem, I make bigger problem. And I marked the police, and I said if ever anybody steals identity of person, or try to extort them to do biometric passport and so on, this is also for Sedna, then this person, the cops will fall together with, yes, you could say I threatened the police, but I just said something that should be correct and not problematic. I put a little bit of rosewood, and rosewood, yes, I know I'm not supposed to use it, blah, 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 but I got the calling is very, just something about it. And it's again one of those oils that balance spirit and matter. So, just a little bit of rosewood. It's a very big chunk of maybe 500 grams or yes, so half a liter. So I can allow myself to be playful with the oils and not worry about overdose. I can make other video about that. Some helichrysum. You can see I'm abundant. My abundancia is asteroid. I'm gonna go to Astro Victor for that. Say that I sent you. Is basically next to my sun in the 3rd house. So I'm abundant with perfumes, with oils. And again, this is helichrysum from Spain. So let's give a little bit of blessings to Spain. Spain that hosted Hans, that was the whistleblower on the Joris Deming case. It's the same Spain. It was what is from Brazil. So give some blessings to Brazil. But the Blue Lotus is from Tunisia. And I hardly know anything about Tunisia. We're gonna, other than Jews from Tunisia, I know. And let's go a little bit with the blue cypress. It's already smelling well. I love it. It's warming. And for the helichrysum, it's basically everlasting, evergreen. Okay? And blue cypress as well. It's an evergreen tree. And I just let it drop. Of course, I'm going to add some rose because it's impossible without rose. And a slight bit of vanilla into this. You know what? I'm not even rose must, yes. Oh, but no, you know the Venus right now. Yeah, she's in Cancer. Is good reception. What I'm going to do without rose? No. So let's add some rose. And you see, this is rose essential oil from Turkey. And the resinoid from Thailand. So, yes. So first of all, the rose. You see, I'm pouring my abundance into this, pouring the best of my oils, the most luxurious, the most expensive, without even thinking. And there is a wealth of experience, but also wealth to be nurtured and to find the solutions. Yes, and to think outside of the box and set the intentions and allow those unexpected events to turn, but in a way where our nervous system contains them and is rejoiced by them. And let's continue my story, because after I did all that I did, which was a doing, okay, you basically turn to people that you know were rapists, that you know were murderers, that you know were raped, that you know or could be murdered, and you say, but for the chance that we can end this. Okay, and so because they were children when this was done to them. And of course, I did not sleep all night. And the next morning, even though I don't have a lot of money, I went to eat in a new restaurant. I bought some chips and some greens. It was a meat restaurant, but I didn't feel like eating meat that day. Not vegan in particular. And it was very nice. And then I was thinking about the fact that I didn't sleep. I was 24 hours I'm awake and working while calling to people, while thinking about how to form the business that would be inclusive, so that everybody can work even if they don't have ability to work, so that it would be pleasurable for them to be present there and would be wealthy, and while I'm 24 hours awake and wasting money. Yes. So I was thinking, like, am I okay right now? And I had a supportive voice. A supportive voice says, what did you tend to in the last 24 hours? And I said, well, I threatened the police, that they wouldn't threaten the people. I contacted people like this or that. And then the voice says, well, what's borderline? And immediately I knew it was a slap in the face, because I had for many years accepted those type of diagnoses that put people down. But for me, it was a grant for studies, so call me whatever. I love this now. This is perfect. And I basically accepted. And even though there's nothing to accept there, I did. allow for these things to affect my mind and for these notions around the self to be notions that I hold about me for no reason, and for, in fact, for the things that I was dealing with, okay, for sometimes not getting enough sleep or needing extra comfort in food, as working irregular hours, is because I had tended to corruption. I never called it that way. I was just not okay with corruption. And of course, this directly leads to expandable children, but I didn't know because I was not exposed to the information. So this is avocado oil. And let it spill. Oh yeah. This one. Good. And so for when I accepted this, I was doing harm to myself, but naturally, every person that accepts this about themselves is enabling. Yes, we don't do it on purpose. It's not about holding shame or blame, but it's good to come out of this state of enabling. Yeah, it's almost leaving some oil out. And it would be, of course, coconut oil. Oh my God, I love the smell. Oh my God. And the helichrysum was like, yes, no, but oh my God. Oh my God, this is so good. I'm going to put some jojoba, but for the most I need to melt the coconut body. What I really like about essential oils, some of them are very tender, but some of them they smell. So even if I put oil that's not like jojoba oil, you still smell. All the oil cold pressed, yes, and unfiltered, yes, I don't know how to say it. And so great for the body. This is body oil, huge chunk of body oil. And I am so happy. I'm so happy. I'll just let it be there. Meanwhile, I'll take a little bit of a screenshot just to show, when I started this. And yes, the 9th house. So we have international traveling to make it safe. All this abolishing slavery and on a global level, also abolishing for the mindsets that we hold even about ourselves, okay, like that borderline story that we hold about ourselves, or thinking that there's something wrong with us, or when we tend to corruptions, so that we are protected and shielded from this type of notions and from even adopting self-perception that is limiting. Okay, for then it was like, oh, I can get a degree if I agree to call myself that. So it was supposedly supportive, but we understand that it's not okay to make people be in this situation that I was, even to get a grant for degree. And of course, we talk about investments and finances and the technology of investments. For yesterday, I had the idea that all these investments algorithms, if we could do them, but on startups that are really supportive for humanity, then we could use technology to boost up the ethical wealth and make it more inclusive, because technology can make for a person that doesn't know so much how to invest to have their income, which I think is a great idea. But it's important for us to invest in things that are actually supportive, and with the technology we can allow for to spread the wealth more equally, which is the role of Uranus. It's going to do it anyway. But if we set intention to do it, for why not, if we are consenting and willingly consenting to do it, or for why not to receive this change and be supportive for our nervous system, both with the moon in Taurus, with the 5th lunar mansion, so being nourished in the process. Okay, I have privilege to do what I do because I have housing right now, because I have food right now, at least for the week that I did that, because I have all this abundance of oils, and I'm using my abundance in that way. So, yeah, we're going to Mix it up a bit. Okay. So we're going to mix it up a bit, but I'm going to already, was trying to bring. Why did they say that coconut melts outside, but it's not melting yet? There's some jojoba oil. So this oil is only external use, of course. And yeah, here we have half the bowl. So if this is the case, let's just, I love to try it on. Oh yeah. There's something to it, definitely needs the coconut. But oh my god, I love the smell. Oh my god. So that can definitely become like a perfume, body oil, just a basic thing that I can later use. And now let's try to see if I can boil some coconut oil. So I can add it to the mix, but not boil, of course, just slowly warming the oil. I'm going to take a little bit of butter. And this is what I like about Uranus. It's very eureka based. It's like, oh, I have a spark of the moment. I woke up, let's see what comes up. Oh, a Uranus talisman. Oh my god, it's in the 9th house. Yes, it's not the Venus day, but it is a moon hour, and Mars is in Taurus. Venus is, yes, is in the 18th degree, but again, we're calling for, she's in Cancer, she's not like in a depressive place or anything like that. And we are calling for, you know, there's just a little bit less water. And now let's see that everything gets heated correctly. But if I'm doing that, so why not melt some wax? Because I do have beeswax somewhere. And yes, if I'm doing that, then we might have already the oil in the form of a salve. But I need glass. And I know what glass I'm going to use here. Whoa, just not to slip. Cautious. Yes, you need a glass. I'm going to use this glass and hope for the best. Oh, it's not. Oh, it's challenging. I don't think I can melt all this. But let's see. Even if it's just the oil, body oil might be even better. But for the beeswax, if you melt it, then basically you have some nice fork to do. I'm going to put it right on the coconut. This is so Uranus. This is so Uranus. It is just to make up something. You see, I haven't, what I haven't done. I haven't fasted before. I did set intention to do talisman of Uranus algol. And I said, oh, but she's going to be on the minima. I will catch it from the moon when the moon is in Cancer. And so on and so forth. Oh, for what can I do? But when you set intention, sometimes you are, yes, blessed. No, this glass won't come in. So we'll have to wait for the coconut. I think we have time. After we have captured this, let's see here, kind of where we stand. We have 20 minutes. So we'll see what comes up. So just to make sure I'm not going overboard for the maximum, but I still have, yes, this oil. And for jojoba, I'm adding more jojoba. And yes, I was so exhausted when I bought this glass yesterday. But I said I must do something. And now, of course, how can I not paint and be creative? So for the time Yes, we have. And by the way, I will, if you bug me in the comments, then I will write down to you what I was using, what music I was using. Is the music, the Ode to the Stars. And I was listening to a couple of times before I made these talismans. You know, when I combine a lot of energy bodies, then I like to also have this dedication. I know right now I'm not using too much. And I haven't done stones yet, but I do want to do a little painting. And let's make it for some colors that I can use. Something green, something white. Okay. And I'm going to, the green wants to come up first. I'm feeling exhausted, so I'll just let it let my be as it is and wait for that cream to form. And I don't have stickers, but I can anoint things with the oil. And I have the notes, I have the pine. Well, let's say if I find my bag meanwhile, and I take myself some glass of water, which is what I like about Taurus talismans. They remind you that you need to nourish yourself and take care of yourself. I don't know what's going on here, but let's see. Worst case scenario, nothing going on here, and I'm still okay. But this is about, when you talk about investment of energy, planning, that even in the worst case scenario, you're still very much okay. And this is also important. Some ice. And blessing the energies. And very, very grateful for the process that I have been through with this talisman. There was a lot of learning to kind of stand my ground and understand that I'm deserving of all this wealth and to create in creative solutions. If the video that I made yesterday also helpful. And also giving reverence to astrologers, for the astrologers that taught me on algol, whether it's Ladadun, Gracia, Tasio, the light way to work with algol, which is intensive, but you can take it to where you want to take it, which is Christopher Warnock, Kathleen Kopok. It's also pioneer in making these body creams and stuff, just not just rocks and stones. For all these people that work with algol and the astrology of algol, I have a very important midpoint on algol. So for all these teachings that I find so useful and groundbreaking and have allowed for this making of this talisman, okay? Even when I don't have like the big wealth or to be student or this and so on. And algol was actually one of the first talismans I made. I was called to work with her, to petition her. I was afraid to do magic, and then I was called to do algol. Just like take the thing that's most scary for all astrologers to do that and see that everything is okay. It was my experience. And this is, a good time to reflect on that and to be grateful for this process that I have been going. And I also want to show you that yes, this talisman, the talismans, and I take on also a Helva's astro testimonial. But when you decide to do talisman, in the time before you do the talisman, there are all kinds of processes that you go as the person who is about to put this energy out. And I'm going through processes, okay, and that are very important. And then for the creative, so by the time you reach the ceremony, even if it wasn't exactly, I didn't fast, I didn't this, I didn't that, you have already gone through the experience, and the omens and the talisman is already working. And I ask for all the energies to imbue my talismans that I'm doing right now in those spirits and in those eurekas and in those energies, and to continue to create relations. By the way, one of the things that I gave algol was both the sprouts, which is good for both your heel, your cracked skin in the heel, but also for people who have psychosis, to keep them back in the body. If the soul go all the way, the spirit goes all the way to the heels, and you're present in your body, then you don't get cracked skin. It doesn't get old that much. And hibiscus tea. And I give reverence for African magicians, both male and female magicians. During 7th October, I listened to African magicians that talked about using hibiscus for where in the past they would use blood sacrifice. So instead of infants or animals or self-mutilation or genitalia mutilation, they would put hibiscus, which would suffice for the gods that would previously receive sacrifice, of human sacrifice. So even if you think about Lucifer, and one of the insights that I had is, what if the enlightenment that Lucifer wants with all this supposed damage that it does is for us to stop doing these damages? And what if we are already at the time where it's possible to stop doing these damages, which I think astrologically we are. And so for the use of hibiscus, I got a hibiscus tea. Well, basically I found it in the local fridge where you put things that you have and then somebody put things that they have, and I found a ton of hibiscus tea for algol. And I think, yes, let's take a look at the time here. I've got 12 minutes. Just a little bit more jojoba into the mix. Yes, avocado, I have enough for this. I'm leaving enough for... Oh my God, the smell. If I could... The smell is beyond legendary. You remember what I put, okay? Blue Lotus. I don't have the exact blend because that's what happened. But of course I'm going to do this honey too. I have this honey that I bought. And even though it's in the box of the honey, I'm just going to add some cinnamon, which is very good self-love and abundance herb, and into the mix. You'll be surprised, but a little bit of black pepper is this. The essential oil black pepper is also good for children, but the oil itself is protective, but it's also good against addictions, for people who have addictions. Yes, I'm going to not yet this one, but I'm trying to look for before even wonders. Yes, so do I have this? Do I not have this? Yeah, I have some, a little bit. Of course, wormwood, very tiny, just, you know, to shield, to protect, nervous system balance. I'm going to drown in a crystal of truth, which is lapis lazuli. I'm going to draw it into the honey. And now for the questionable part. So some lavender, essential oil. And if you're mad at me, you want to watch another videos that I will make about this. And some myrtle, just a small amount of myrtle, so, which I think does not even need explanation. Yes, a tiny bit of thyme, because thyme is the courage oil, and just a tiny bit, one. And so bitter orange. Of course I can, because for internal consumption I can do whatever the F I wanna. I think I have enough droplets. Yes. Okay. Naturally, no, a bit of mint, just one drop. And this is consecrated oil. I think the water is not even close to, the water is cold, so I have the thing that's supposed to keep the thing is not working. So let's just see where we are. Momentary wise, we're going to blend in the oli. Just 8 minutes to go. Blending the honey. And this is going to be shielding, protecting, good for nervous system, everlasting against things that you can keep and store. And I'm going to give it. Oh, wow. It's exactly what it should be. Oh my God. And let's go with the coconut. But I mix the coconut in. I don't have, by the way, I don't have anything to heat with right now. Everything that's supposed to heat everything has gone corrupt. So I will have this just a little bit of coconut, not a lot, just a little bit. Yeah, and closing. So I have consecration of the body oil. Yes, it is no, it's not full, but the glass is half full. And this can be used later to make sauce, to make butter. And I'm just gonna sniff it just one more time. Just gonna sniff it a little bit. How will I forget it for a month? I don't know. The captain says you're supposed to store it for at least a lunar cycle. I don't know how will I be able to hold it, because this is such a good smelling body oil that I don't even know how it's possible, but I'm not putting it in the fridge yet. Of course, not adding anything to it anymore. So yes, I can put it in the fridge. Or I put it next to algol for a while. And then let's do a little bit of a beautiful, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's do our little third one I mentioned. We're just going to, oh, it's so lovely because it's already gotten the oil, and now we're going to put it on the honey. So again, working with Uranus again. It's going to be the antithetical to the way you usually do that, which is very likely why I receive these things. But isn't astrology all about being antithetical? Not on purpose. It's just I woke up like this and I said, what's coming up? For what's coming up, a talisman. So of course I'm going to make a talisman. And this is to draw for the way we exchange our wealth, okay, but the banking system, wealth system, that is supportive of us, of the children of childhood. Because why do we do all this? For the children. And so there shouldn't be any reason for children to be expendable and go for atrocities for the things that essentially, for all this money, for all these assets that we save, is for the children. And so this is for the honey, to attract good wealth and investments that is genuinely good for the children. And thank you for Bonald Bernard for this. So very, very strong coming in for the spirit and the insights and everything. I think this is, we call it a day. call it a day. Yes, this, I'm not going to push it to the minute. And those are my beloved talismans with the coin, a little bit, of course, consecration for the honey, the coin. And all of that sitting on a painting of freedom of expression I did before the Me Too from May 11, 2015. So, yes, now for the talisman preparation, everything will be resting. The oil smells so good together. And of course, a little bit of coconut. Yes, I'm gonna let it sit. So that was an unconventional live talisman making. Uranus. So we have Uranus. We have the third lunar mansion, which is in spirit and in matter. Thank you, Ronald Bernard, for the insight. We have the wealth and investment and banking that is actually good for the children, because all of these investments we do for the children. So yes, you could say spirit of Ronald Bernard in the talisman, especially for the honey. And we have, and by the way, for the roses, the rosewood is also good for prolonging fertility, okay, or for people who go through menopause. So it's a huge change in what fertility is, and that is very supportive as well. So a lot of energies blending very well, but the energy that I feel right now is very calm and very, it's just blending well. That's all I can say. There's something very light about this and very supportive and kind of like nurturing for all of these energies, and very accepting. I think accepting, inclusive, accepting, especially accepting, okay? Especially in the way for like it was done, and you think that, oh, well, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, everything very quickly assembling, and there's a lot of the adaptability that requires, that's required for innovation, for new eureka solutions, entrepreneurship. Is genuinely supportive. Is the excited child, and rather than the math scientist. So yes, I hope you have enjoyed, and maybe you feel the energies right now with me as I'm doing this. And yes, I know that there are many things you can say, oh, this needs to be ethically sourced and this and that, and I'm like, I agree with you, but it's also setting the stage for even better things to come. For the oil, it can definitely be used as perfume, as body oil, to be mixed with and made a salve or butter. And for the honey, but it can also be stored as talisman. I can speak a little bit about internal consumption of oil, and I like to tell this story that, as it was told to us in aromatherapy classes. And that was in London. A guy was prescribed to take a spoonful of essential, a drop of essential oil with carrier oil, okay, vegetable oil, a spoonful of carrier oil. And he took a spoonful of essential oil. He is no longer with us, and neither is the ability to internally consume essential oil. That being said, internal consumption of essential oil is one of the most practiced things, and most of the diseases that you can't get away even with conventional medicine, you do get away with internal consumption, is the notion that what we put on our skin and what we put in our body is the same. Okay, not exactly same. If you are produced with solvents, then there's a little bit of wax we don't put in our body. You don't put jojoba oil in toothpaste. I saw this. Okay, it's like, I know it's not like as terrible as other toxins, but it's still, you're not supposed to. But for other than that, with correct dilution and understanding a little bit of what you're doing is very possible, and it's no problem. You just have to understand not more than 1 drop per spoonful of essential oil, and they melt the essential oil, they blend only with oil-based things, okay? Honey is okay, but the rest is oils-based things. Tahini, also okay. The butters that you use, kind of like nut butter, also okay. Yes, but not water-based, okay? Not even vinegar, because it's water-based. So when you know this, then you have a safe way to work with powerful things that are very exciting to work with, and to attune your body from within and from outside. Okay, both internal consumption and outside for the body, for the skin, is good nourishment. But within and without, and so, within and outside, and so on. It was very interesting that I had the pine. The pine here, which is pineal gland, and the symbolism. And I just collected it a while. I would see pines, I think in nines, in my year 9, for the pineal gland. And so, yes, this is so like obvious, okay, for the enlightenment, both for the sexuality when it's safe, then it's flowing. Then, of course, it goes to purify, decultify the pineal gland. Somebody liked my decoldify. And of course, for the mind, very good for the mind, and the nervous system. All of this together is great tonic for the nervous system, I feel. But it's not just tonic for the nervous system, it's genuinely to be creative and expressive, as I am right now. And I think, yes, we are delving into Saturn time. Yeah. So I will put this episode to launch in an hour, where we get back to Jupiter, an hour and a half, let's say, where we get back to Jupiter, and we end the ascendant on my descendant. So thank you so much for watching for my unexpected vlog, a live talisman, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.